Hey, what is up guys? This is going to be part one of a two-part segment on what the hell is going on with online Yu-Gi-Oh! So basically, if you guys haven't noticed, NAS has basically put out a cease and desist order for Dueling Network. This is why I have this nice lovely screen.
Oh, we got a fine hoochie mama right here.
Instead of doing some games for you guys to watch later. So yeah, this is going to make it a little bit more difficult for me now. As well as yugioh Pro has this nice lovely screen now.
Oh, we got a fine hoochie mama right here.
And I don't, because I've already got it downloaded on my computer, so I don't need to suffer like the finding other formats to download it on and basically saying screw you to NAS. But fishy thing to do, which I've seen, because a lot of people play Yu-Gi-Oh on Dueling Network for the sole fact of not every computer can download Dev Pro or yugioh Pro, because sometimes you have a hard problem, like when I used to try and download it on my dad's Apple, it really didn't like it. So I used to just play on Dueling Network because it was a non-plug-in format that I could just use on anything I needed as long as I had Chrome. And it was really, really good because, fair enough, there were some trolley people on there and some people that felt like their sole purpose was to wind you up. But it was still a very, very good website to use because it allowed me to test out deck ideas that I really didn't want to invest money into and test out without me having to like invest a lot of money into it and then find out that the deck is really, really appalling, and then I've got these cards that I won't ever use and it just becomes annoying. So that's why I'm kind of a little bit disappointed why Dueling Network got hit. The second thing is why yugioh Pro got hit, because, as I said again, NES are bastards, basically. But this was an automated version of Dueling Network, so you couldn't cheat in it. But it had its own little problems which people used and abused, because if you had a hand trap or something like that, and your opponent would know straight away, because if you had nothing on the field and it kept on pausing to go to your opponent, it would figure out that they've got a hand trap or something like that, and you play around it. But it wasn't that bad because not everyone always noticed it, and even if you figured out that your opponent's got a hand trap, it wouldn't really affect the game as much, even though it gave you a little bit of an unfair advantage. But fair enough, in Konami's defense, they could say that, well, we give you all these nice lovely other platforms to play Yu-Gi-Oh on that are really, really good, and you think, yeah, great, great, until you see this.
What?
You have seen Duel Arena before. It was an absolutely, I will say it, crap game for Yu-Gi-Oh! It was really, really appalling. For the sole factor of the way you got points on it, it was just so slow. Because I played this game for about a month and I just stopped playing it because it got so annoying and slow that basically I was just sitting there trying to build a good deck to play against people, and I couldn't even get the cards that I needed, or I have to play like 20 odd games to try and get some decent packs. And it was like a very, very annoying version of Candy Crush, where you only had about 5 games to play, 5 or 6 games, and then you had to wait an hour to get your lives back, so then you could start playing. And I don't mean you lost lives like in Candy Crush, where if you lose your life and whatever. In this one, regardless if you win or lose, you basically lose a life, energy, whatever it is.
What?
It's basically playing it for 5 minutes on your laptop, then having to bugger off for about another 5 hours till you come back, and then you're allowed to play on it again, which was really, really annoying. And it could have been really, really good if they didn't have that, you must win like 5 games before you can get decent packs. And instead of buying packs half of the time because you just didn't have the points to do it, because you get something like 100 points, if that, to buy 100 points if you won a game, and to buy a pack was like 1,000 points, and you'd be sitting there thinking, well, I don't really want to play 10 games for one pack because it's a little bit of a waste of time, considering it's going to take me forever to get those 1,000 points because I can only play 5 games every 5 hours. So
That doesn't make any sense.
So instead, what you'd have to do is buy, like, they were equivalent to like structure decks on there. They weren't appalling because I used a yugioh one and it cost me something like 300 points at the time, and it was all right. But after like using the deck for about a day or so, it'd say, do you want to renew it for another 500 points or you lose it? And you're just like, it's a good deck, but I want to buy some packs to build like Necros or something actually good. And you're like, well, I don't have a deck to play, and the cards that I've got right now are a bit crap. So...
Oh, shut up. Are you screaming because you're in pain, or are you just freaking out because this is really weird?
It was good because it looked like it could have pulled off some good stuff on the computer, but the like cons of it weighed it out vastly, and like no wonder it's no longer available on Miniclip, which, if you guys don't know, it was only available on Miniclip, and it was just a bad game, very bad. And then the last one that I want to talk about is online Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, I remember back in the day playing this, and this was really, really good in the back in the day before Dueling Network really was a thing, because how it worked is you'd spend like a $5 or a tenner on some duel points or duel pass or whatever it's called, and those allowed you to play games against anyone around the world, which was reasonably good. It kept up to date, it updated the cards as Konami was releasing them, and updated the band list and any new packs, and you could basically, it was more or less full real life Yu-Gi-Oh! Kept up to date, but on the computer. And then at the end of every game, you would basically be given a bunch of booster packs, and you get to pick one pack and get some stuff out of it. So at the very least, you were getting a reasonable amount out of the money you spent, because if you went off and spent like 10 or something like that, I think it like equated to £1 equal 10 dual pass, so it wasn't really like you're wasting a fortune on a lot of games, because how I played it, I'd like invest 20 quid and that would last me about a month and a half, 2 months, because I'd only be playing this when I came back from school or something like that. And it was really, really good. Until they got an update for it, I believe it was in 2010, and then they did it so stupid, and it went from good to crap.
Stupid. No way.
That one update, because before the update, you got boosters at the end of every game, you could trade with anyone throughout, you could go here, there, and everywhere, and play in different formats by walking to different maps like Duel Academy and the original Domino City, just to play the formats and enjoy it back then, in the like DMOC eras when you could play that and it was perfectly fine. And then they updated it for the 5Ds era, and it kind of went downhill from there, because instead of getting boosters at the end of every game, you had to pay for Dual Pass, and then you had to pay for boosters on top. I don't really want to like waste a tenner to get some dual points and then waste another tenner to buy some boosters, which I then pull crap all in, and then have to invest another tenner in boosters again, because I'm still pulling crap out of it. And it just got worse and worse from there, to the point where I actually stopped playing it and playing it on here and just stuck to the real life format, because it felt like it was milking just as much money to play in reality as it was on the game, which I don't really see that's like a good way of advertising a game, where you're probably having to spend just as much as if you went out and actually bought the cards in reality than if you just played it online. So that was kind of my views on that, but it could have been, if it kept to its original format, it would have been really good. People would have still I think people would have still spent money on it because it was good. It updated regularly so that you could play even. It got up to like the end of the 5Ds era, and then it just kind of, I think, died down from there. And by the end of the Zexal era, it was gone because I cannot find this on the internet anymore, nor Dual Arena. So it kind of just goes to show the platforms that Konami's providing aren't really as good as what regular people are providing with YGO Pro and Dueling Network. So these are my views on the first part segment. So basically, on the second part segment, I'm going to show you the other games that Konami is going to release, and also say my views on how, if Konami doesn't basically sort out this problem with NAS, where we can't use Dueling Network or DevPro, at least provide us with some decent platforms to play Yu-Gi-Oh on that aren't going to milk us for money or aren't absolute shit, basically. So thanks guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe as always, and I'll be signing out now. Peace.